Welcome aboard Flight 1 on Life Airways, where we are all taking the same journey home. My name is Dr. Reuben, and I'll be your captain for today's trip, where your safety and well-being are our top priority. On this flight, please expect turbulence and the need to use the oxygen masks. That will fall from panels above your seat. When this happens, we want you to help others secure their masks first before you place your own mask on. Like this. So, I'm not really a pilot. But I am Dr. Reuben, and I help people navigate life as a licensed psychologist. I am also a recovering people pleaser. That's funny. People pleasing is when we give to others at the expense of assuring our own needs. On the surface, people pleasing appears virtuous and selfless, but at its core, the behavior is us caring about ourselves less. So, if society tells us that taking care of our own needs is selfish, this is your invitation to be selfish. But hold on, there's nuance. I'm not telling you not to care about other people. I'm simply inviting you to prioritize yourself first, then consider those around you. We can create a world where we prioritize our own needs while living in loving harmony with others. To get there, we must assess the nature of the problem that has been normalized by society. Caring about others before ourselves to our individual and collective detriment. Would everyone willing and able please stand? Come on, come on, come on. You know we gotta go out with a bang. Very good, very good, thank you, thank you. Now, if you have engaged in any of the following behaviors in the last 2 weeks, please take your seat. Take your seat if in the last 2 weeks you avoided sharing an honest opinion with someone to prevent conflict. It's a pandemic. All right, take your seat if in the last 2 weeks you said sorry without having a reasonable reason to apologize. Last human standing. Take your seat if in the last 2 weeks you said yes to a partner, friend, or work assignment when you really wanted to say no. Take your seat if in the last 2 weeks you felt as if you were on call 24/7 for friends, family, or work. Finally, take your seat if in the last 2 weeks you made an important decision based on what others expected at your own expense. All right. I need to hang around you. All right, take your seat. Well, you can take your seat, but I want y'all to look around. Take a look around. As we can see, us humans are good at people pleasing. All right, nice work. Nice crowd participation. All right, let's keep on keeping on. In a 2024 YouGov survey, half of adults self-identified as people pleasers. 69% said they prioritize the needs of others before their own, and over 90% indicated practicing at least one people-pleasing trait, such as avoiding disagreements, feeling responsible for others' feelings, and difficulty setting boundaries with others. So, we all people-please to some degree, and I'll share 4 justifiable reasons for why. First up, people-pleasing is an evolutionary survival tactic. For our ancestors living in small, close-knit communities, social acceptance through people-pleasing meant food and safety, and social rejection meant starvation or death. Number two, people-pleasing tendencies can be learned from culture. For example, conflict avoidance is a common cultural trait learned in childhood for many of us people-pleasers. If unchecked, the habit extends into our adult relationships and work lives with negative consequences. Number three, each of us have unique attachment styles based on our early childhood experiences. Some of us learn to go above and beyond to prioritize the external validation of parents, caregivers, and other important figures, often forgetting about ourselves in the process. We all know that person who overcommits to everyone and everything because they can never say no. And if we're honest, some of us are that person. No shame. See y'all getting tense in here? Number four, and at the extreme end, people can experience trauma that affects how they form relationships. Many of my clients who have experienced childhood trauma needed to fixate on others in their environment to assure their safety or survival, or both. This fixation outside of themselves left little energy for them to focus on their own needs, health, and well-being. So, we all people please. We have good reasons for doing so. And there are short-term benefits. There's the dopamine hit we get from helping others, the validation of knowing that people like us, and the sense of pride we wear like a badge of honor when rescuing others from their challenges. But these short-term benefits come with long-term consequences. For one, we erode the relationship with ourselves by betraying our needs. If we do this for long enough, our mind, body, and spirit will break down. This is why people pleasers tend to have higher rates of anxiety, depression, chronic stress, and burnout. Also, when we change ourselves so that people like us, we are no longer showing up to life as our most authentic self. People might like us, but they cannot truly love us because we're only presenting an avatar of who we actually are. This leads to inauthentic, superficial, and exhausting relationships. Last, I believe if we have enough individuals people-pleasing in society, we begin to normalize the behavior and we become unwell collectively, which may have something to do with our current mental health crisis. As stated earlier, I too am a people pleaser. And at one point, I could have been team captain of all the people pleasers. It worked well for me too, until it didn't. For example, in my Nigerian home with immigrant parents, I earned praise for my academic achievement throughout my 23 years of nonstop education. The validation was my people-pleasing drug of choice. It helped me earn a PhD. As an athlete, I learned to please my coaches with my athletic performance, which earned me an opportunity to play sports at an elite college football program. Go Dogs! As an activist, I advocated tirelessly to please my ancestors, people who look like me, and others who shared my convictions. But there were long-term consequences to my people-pleasing habit. Over time, I realized that I had become the quintessential rescuer. I believed that I always needed to save everyone from everything while never questioning my own needs. As this habit morphed into an addiction, I spiraled into an identity crisis, not knowing who I was anymore. My life became fueled by the fear of rejection and the possibility of letting others down. The fear was breaking my mind, body, and spirit. In March 2020, COVID transformed everything for me by forcing me into solitude where I tuned into my inner experience. I had a major problem. I felt guilty for spending time away from my work with people and my loved ones. Behind this guilt were core beliefs that one, I always needed to be helping others, and two, I didn't deserve time for myself. These core beliefs kept me on a hamster wheel where I raced to prioritize the needs of others and exhausted myself in the process, never investigating my own needs. I needed to break my addiction with radical changes in how I thought and behaved. I'll share 3 steps that I took to do so, which might help you begin to break your own people-pleasing habits. First, within yourself, you must practice the courage to meet the fear of rejection. If you do, you'll find the sense of peace that comes when you're in alignment with your most authentic self. Yes, some people won't like you, but you will begin attracting the people who appreciate the most authentic version of you. Second, between you and others, you must learn to set boundaries by practicing the power of saying no in your relationships. By saying no to others, you will create opportunities to finally begin saying yes to yourselves. Last, at work and in your advocacy to change the world, you must accept that you are a critical part of change, but that you are not solely responsible for painting and maintaining institutional change. You don't have to carry the burden alone or even at all sometimes. After several years of practicing these skills, I've never felt more liberated and connected with myself and others. I'm thriving because I choose to be selfish about prioritizing myself and my needs. Now that my needs are met, I have an overflow of love within me to give selflessly to those around me. Let's revisit our opening scene. Welcome aboard Flight 1 on Life Airways on where your safety, hold on. Welcome aboard Flight 1 on Life Airways, where we are all taking the same journey home. My name is Dr. Reuben, and I'll be your captain for today's trip where your safety and well-being are our top priority. On this flight, please expect turbulence and the need to use the oxygen masks that will fall from above your seat. When this happens, we want you to place the mask on yourself first. Heard that? Place the mask on yourself first, and only after assuring your survival, your health, and your well-being do we invite you to help those around you. Have a wonderful journey home. Thank you.